Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to my Ask Me Anything Sunday session. I just want to go in and check if I am live. Okay, it looks like I'm live. All right. Okay, now I think this is the third. Okay, it is already like 14th of August. It's already halfway through August. How's things going? How's things going? All right. One thing I can actually observe, I actually observed in the past 1 week plus, which is after the 8-8, CPM is kind of stabilizing. Okay, so I guess CPM is stabilizing means we should be getting back to normal so-called cost per result, or kind of a result rate, and it's really like usually that's what happened when it comes to 8899, even payday or anything that is very much like event kind of thing. Okay, yo, what's up, Chiwai? Okay, now okay, now just want to quickly share a few things about what I learned in the past 1 week or so. Okay, I guess because I was actually preparing for some new free trainings coming up. Right, I'm launching an once training. Actually, particularly doing it with partners. Okay, fundamentally, it's about how do we actually start Facebook advertising right, because recently a lot of people having this issue of having their ad account banned or even their profile banned. Like recently one of my clients, a few clients from Philippines and Vietnam are having similar issue. And one of the things that I learned is actually, if you're using that particular, this is something very interesting. If you're using that particular credit card for your, let's say, your ad account, let's say you're using this credit card for your ad account, and then if you go to let's say if I'm from Malaysia. Okay, I'm using my card for my Facebook ads account, and if I travel to places, let's say if I go to Singapore and I start spending there, and within a very short period of time I fly to maybe Indonesia and I start spending money with my that particular credit card over there, Facebook would actually flag it as suspicious, fraudulent kind of stuff, because they say that you are actually using this card in too many countries, and they kind of suspect that you are a fraud, and it could be probably a potential fraud. That's why they might actually stop your ads from running. They might disable your ad account. But here's the thing: this is not an entire business manager disabling, or even not even a profile disabling. It's really that particular ad account, and they flag it as potential fraud issue with that particular credit card. That's something very interesting. That's why I realized, in order to start right on Facebook advertising, although we've been talking about Facebook advertising for many, many years now, right? And a lot of you, like Chiwa and all of us, we probably have been doing this together for years now, and we are kind of like understand how Facebook ads work. But there are still a lot of people coming into the world of Facebook advertising. And I was thinking probably I want to do something to help them understand and on how to start right, such as, like, for example, I'm actually covering a few things such as you gotta start with Facebook Business Manager instead of a personal account. That's one thing. And then of course we want to talk about some do's and don'ts when it comes to advertising on Facebook and Instagram, because in order to avoid from getting banned or disabled, we gotta play by the rules. These are the things that we can actually cover. And of course, probably I will cover a little bit about how to start Facebook. How to choose Facebook ads objective. A quick dive into the Facebook Ads Manager to help them understand that, okay, look, it's not rocket science. We just have to do this thing right. So I guess it's a very, very simple, like an hour-ish kind of training to help more people really understand it right. Because if you observe what I'm doing right now on my YouTube channel, right, I'm actually doing weekly updating instead of daily right now, and I actually optimize the content towards, really boost. I mean, we're optimizing it for searchability to increase my visibility, and in fact, it's really working well for us right now. So that's something that we're going to do. So if there's anything that you believe that should be included in this, like really beginners kind of training, okay, you can actually share with me your idea about what are the topics that should be included. You can share in the comment. I can see Chiwa is already commenting. I'll actually bring it up in a bit. And if you have any idea about things that you want us to cover, you want me to cover in that training, and if there's any questions that you want to ask as a probably like a new Facebook advertiser, you can drop me a message, whether on my YouTube channel, or you can actually drop me a message on my Facebook page. All right. So once I finalized the thing, once I actually completed it with my partner on this coming weekend, I'm gonna do it for all of you as well. As in, like, I'm gonna run this as a free training on my YouTube channel, and everybody is welcome to join. So that's what I'm gonna do. Okay. So yep. Let's take a look at this thing. All right. Chiwai is saying like that also can. You thought this is more like a banking thing, right? Your experience was clients public bank card always red flagged by the bank because the spend is too high, about 20K per month. Yes, that's the other issue, which is if you spend too much on one particular merchant or one particular business, right? Sometimes Facebook will actually we're gonna do some funny thing over there. Yeah, actually, it's totally possible. So this is the problem with Facebook. I guess they are being too careful. I don't know. I'm not sure whether this is a bad thing though, but well, it's their policy. We just have to, like play by the rules. Just like you never encounter it until the situation happens. Like seriously, the client was telling me, I mean, it has been disabled for like wait 3 weeks. I think 3 weeks already. Almost 1 month cannot run ads already. Very very interesting. So yeah, we didn't know it. So what they needed it to, I mean, what they want actually, you have to kind of like go back to the country and work with the bank to actually get something resolved. I don't know. It's a very interesting thing. Okay, and so it started billing per invoice, can't get through. Clients need to call up the public bank to unflag it, and you need to actually click pay manually. Yeah, very very hassle sometimes. It's really something that we have to kind of deal with, because what Facebook does is when you run ads on Facebook, they will not. I mean, like if you have a new account, that's how things work, right? If you have a new account, then you have to probably will get invoices very often, like probably every 50 ringgit or $10, $50 kind of thing. And as you pay well along the way, and your threshold will increase and increase. Like if you spend big, like your client, right? Yeah, of course that will happen. So you will get a lot of billing. So no choice. And when you get a lot of billing, sometimes the bank will flag it. So that's the problem. All right, and Doris said good idea. All right, so yeah, that's pretty cool, right? So we're gonna do that. Okay, now let's see. We have a question from this is actually Xie Fang Tan. I think this is from Xie Fang. So she is asking, hi, hey, Xie Fang, welcome to the AMA. Thanks for joining me. So Xie Fang is asking, is there any website that we can check about keyword ranking? For example, real estate industry, what are the hot keywords right now? When you say keyword, do you mean Facebook advertising or Google advertising? I just want to clarify that. Yeah, do you mean Facebook advertising or Google advertising? If you talk about Google advertising, then there are a lot of different softwares or tools online, such as SEMrush, right? And even something called, like, what was that? Ahrefs. These are the so-called websites that helps you kind of like track keywords. I'm not sure how it works. I mean, I actually tried some of them, but because I'm not a Google advertising guy, so I don't really use that a lot. But if you're talking about Facebook advertising, if you're asking, oh, what are the keywords I should be using to run ads for my, let's say if you're from real estate industry, how to actually target the right keyword, how do you use the right keyword or something like that, I think this is no longer the way how Facebook advertising work right now. Facebook ads audience targeting is not really like that anymore, because so-called keyword targeting, or let's say interest targeting on Facebook, is slightly different right now. So it's first thing first, I don't really have a, like I don't really have like any website that I would recommend that actually does that. But I guess what you can do, in fact, Facebook Ads Manager itself is already a very good tool for you to kind of gauge how many people are there when, let's say, for example, if you're looking for, let's say, investment, Facebook will give you the idea of, how many people roughly are there. Let's say if you choose investment in Malaysia, roughly how many people are within the audience targeting, let's say, the potential reach. So these are some tools that you can already use that you don't need to go elsewhere. But I would say when it comes to Facebook audience targeting, it's very important for us to understand how Facebook audience targeting work right now. Keyword targeting is a very tricky thing, right? Some people like to stuff a lot of keywords in, right? Like for example, like let's say some people likes to stuff like I don't know. Some at one point my client even told me that, Jason, I'm selling a very expensive property, so you just help me search for like Maserati, Porsche, Ferrari, and all those, because I believe people who like these pages are my clients, because I only want to target high paying customers. But my argument was this, I could be liking Maserati, Ferrari, Porsche because I like cars, but that doesn't mean I can afford one, you see. So it's a very tricky thing. It's a very tricky thing. So you got to be very careful on. I would say you need to really come in and understand how Facebook ads work first and how audience targeting work. Then, you should develop your own way of looking at how audience targeting should work for your business. Like recently, we tried a lot, using broad targeting. In fact, it's working really well for us right now. As in broad targeting, as we only do age group, location, and nothing else. Yeah. So it worked well for us, a lot of our cases right now. So I wouldn't say one rule one method would rule it all. It's just that we have to really understand, like what's really going on and how do we actually make it work for our business. All right. Okay. I hope I answered that question. If I don't, then I probably will come back to this again. So Chiwai was saying you would share a list of things that I can include, because you don't want the new advertisers to experience what you went through the hard way. Please, yes, I would appreciate that. Please share your list of things that I should cover in that particular free training, and I'll do it. I'll do it. Thanks for that, man. Okay, and you're saying if cases like this, okay, like for example, can we just create a new ad account, although it's not temporarily fixed? You don't want any pause on their campaigns. They did that. No, they did that. For some reason, because they use a Vietnam card instead, it had some issue as well. So even the new ad account was not allowed to run ads. It's a very complicated situation. I don't know. I mean, at this point of time, we are still trying to resolve it. So it's a very interesting thing. But theoretically, I think you can though. All right. I would say if you start a brand new ad account using another business manager and have a card attached to it, and you link to the Facebook page and run that, I say that's something that is actually possible. Yeah, I think we can actually try that. Okay. And I think this is Xie Fang talking about, yes, you're talking about Facebook advertising. Okay, and Chiwai say keyword rankings, you need third-party keyword research too. If you want to use free ones, you can use Google Trends. That's right. That's really on the Google side of things, right? So, someone was asking, who's this? I'm not seeing the name over here. How come when you export post data under Overview tab, it doesn't take the reach number from Facebook Ads Manager? Export post data? You mean Overview tab in your? Do you mean who is this? I'm not sure. Wait, where did this comment come in? Hang on, yeah, I'm not actually reading this. Like, okay, now let's help me understand. You say you export post data under Overview tab. Do you mean this is within your business suite, as in like the page information? Page information and Ads Manager are two different things, right? I'm not saying your name, so I don't know your name. So here's the thing: if you're talking about you are exporting your post data, as in your Facebook page post data, it will never include your Ads Manager data, because these two are of different system. So you have to actually go into the Ads Manager and export another side of things. And yeah, it doesn't work together. So you have to have two sets of data. I hope I answer your questions correctly. I mean, I understand your questions correctly. All right. And Chiwai says Samrush is bloody good, also bloody expensive. Yes, I was told as well, because these are all the good tools out there. People took a lot of, I don't know what they actually do to develop this kind of tool. It's a very powerful tool, obviously. That's why they are very expensive, but it really helped for those people who really need the ranking, like especially on Google advertising. But one thing I've been experimenting recent weeks, in fact, like over close to a month now, what I realized is I'm actually able to really effectively use video to rank. Like previously, I was actually using what do we call? I was like, I mean, yeah, I'll probably talk about this in one of the training because I wanted to share this like as a technique that you can really use, YouTube videos to help you rank high. Like recently, one of the things that we did was like because Facebook ODEX, the outcome driven advertising experience. Facebook ODEX is really one of the keyword that I wanted to rank, and the highest ones was really like Ben Heath and a few other so-called Facebook ads experts over there, and they have a lot of views. So what I did was I actually optimize it with the training video that I did with my Jason Nation members a while ago, and I actually managed to push it to, I think it's already at the fourth or third ranking. So if you go and Google Facebook ODEX, right, I'm not sure whether you will be seeing my video as a third video or not. Because usually when it comes to, let's say if you go Google something, right, when you Google something, the search result, if there are videos related to the keyword that you're searching for, they will show the videos. So I think my video started to show on the third or fourth place right now. I'm not sure whether it does change. So that actually helped me gather a lot of very, very high quality leads into my funnel, because a lot of people are actually having a lot of confusion about ODEX right now. And I wanted to, have a position there when I was like, when somebody is actually looking for it. Yeah. And TYC already ranked number 3, right? Yeah, not bad, right? Yeah, I think I actually launched it publicly in less than 2 weeks. I think less than 2 weeks. And not bad, seriously. Very powerful YouTube. So, I mean, 1,000 reasons you should do YouTube. Everybody should do YouTube. All right. And not bad, huh? Already ranked number 3. Thanks, GI. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, just I probably want to actually look at it like, okay, GI was saying, bear in mind, Google's approach is intent oriented compared to Facebook, which is the same as a flyer. Yes, correct. So when people are looking for keyword on Google, they are really looking for something. But on Facebook, it's not like that. It's really based on so-called your activities that you do on Facebook and all that. Basically, they will tag you into different categories. Let's say if you like a lot of like maybe investment related pages, they will actually tag you as you are interested in investment. But it may not necessarily reflecting that you are really ready to invest. Just like another example that I used was, let's say, for example, if you want to get married, right? You want to actually prepare for your wedding. You will probably follow a lot of pages regarding wedding photography, wedding gown rentals, and anything that is related to that. But after you are married, after you got married, right? You are no longer interested in all this kind of stuff, correct? But you will not actually purposely go back and unlike those pages, correct? So, but here's the thing: you have already liked so many wedding-related pages. In a way, Facebook labeled you as you are interested in this thing, but it did not take into account that you have already gotten married. You no longer need this anymore. That's why it could be something that may not be that accurate. So you have to understand these kind of possibilities coming in now. So I think that's something that a lot of people kind of never thought of, right? So yeah. Okay, thanks GY. Thanks for sharing this. And then we have Doris was saying, can you use back previous ad sets for fresh ad by changing the objective and ad copies and vice versa, changing the ad set? Okay, wait, let me read this. This is actually kind of complicated. So you're saying that you want to use the previous ad set for fresh ad by changing the objective. Now, technically, when you change objective, the previous ad set, even though you duplicate it into the, like let's say, yeah, if you technically when you change objective, it's a new campaign. Okay, ad sets and ad inside it are actually new thing. It probably will not carry the previous, let's say, likes and comments and all these numbers, so-called the vanity metrics anymore. And then, but if you are using the same objective and same ad set, but you are only changing the creative, meaning that you off the old creative and on the new one, yes, that is perfectly okay. Okay, but if you are changing the ad copy within the same ad set and same objective, that is fine. But if you change objective, technically it's a new campaign. So it will not carry the historical data if that's something that you're looking for. It will not carry the historical data. Yeah. So you have to understand the whole structure. That's why this is something that I wanted to talk about as well, because the campaign structure can be a bit confusing to certain people. And yeah, I was thinking probably I should include this as part of my, like free training for beginners as well. So let's talk. I'll add it in. Okay, campaign structure. Okay, thanks for the idea, Doris. And let's say, say already ranked number 3. Not bad. And you say like the number 1 and number 2 is older video. Correct. I only used 2 weeks to rank number 3. Yeah, so you only used 2 weeks. Number 1 was way back in March. Yeah, very good progress. In fact, you if you want to try, yeah, recently I was ranking for as you can see, all my videos are surrounding Facebook CPass. But if you go and Google Facebook CPass, you can't find someone else other than me. Basically, I dominated that thing. Yeah, that's kind of that. Okay, thanks, Doris. And Tira was adding, if you change campaign, your ad set might not even be usable. Yes, if you change campaign, your ad set may not be usable because technically, let's say if you change from lead gen to, you can't change lead gen to conversion. Lead gen is very specific, but let's say if you want to change from conversion to traffic, the whole settings might not be the same. So you got to be very mindful about this thing as well. So understanding the whole structure could be quite important, especially. I mean, one thing about Facebook advertising as opposed to Google advertising, because I do a lot more Google ads recently for my own, because I spend a lot more on Google and YouTube. Basically, it works so much better for me right now at this point of time compared to Facebook advertising. So I would say actually Facebook advertising is more complicated than YouTube ad or Google ads in a way, because of the objectives and stuff like that. But maybe it's because of my settings or my structure that I'm using on Google ads is a lot more straightforward. But then again, yeah, I think Facebook ads is actually simpler. Okay, now, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, today I don't have any questions coming up on my side. So I was thinking probably this could be a very good, catch up, because I'm committed to do this every Sunday night, right? So might as well we do this together. But here's the quick recap, lah. I mean, I'm just talking about, in a way, we are going to have a little bit of so-called advertisers holiday in coming weeks until probably next week, until the what do we call until next following weeks, which is before the 25th of August, which is the payday. If you are in e-commerce, that will be, but it will not be very significant. So I would say at this point of time, CPM should be very stable. So if you want to scale your campaign, you can actually, if you want to, because coming few weeks, there are no major events or no major things happening in Malaysia. I think Singapore as well. I'm not sure about Philippines. Yeah, as long as there are no major things coming up, there shouldn't be a big shake when it comes to advertising cost. So you can scale if you want to. All right, you can actually push a little if you want to. And of course, you can also test new creative. This is a very good time because the market is a little bit more stable right now, instead of some volatile times such as like school holidays or like big events like 8899 coming up. So you should spend a little bit more time to like maybe do a little bit of experiment to get yourself ready, because it's very important to get a stable framework. I mean, that's one thing that I always like to highlight, because to be frank, running ads is easy, but having a framework that can actually consistently get you results in the long run is another challenge. So you have to, in a way, like I always change my framework in a way, even advertising framework. And it's just always about trying new things and bringing new approach into your so-called whole campaign. And hopefully when the one thing is no longer working, the other one actually can come out as a backup. That's something that I always actually think. Yeah. And Doris is asking, clad, Okay, provide Google Ads and GMC setup trainings as well. Google Ads, I don't want to cover that because I think Ian has already done it. I think Ian has already done Google Ads. I guess that's something that is already there. But my way of running Google Ads may not be that conventional. May not be the I mean the more proper way of doing it, because you know me, I'm just like sometimes I actually use my own method and it could be a little bit wild west, and I'm not an expert in Google Ads. I could be using a method that probably may not be the right ones. But let's see. Let's see if I'm able to get maybe someone else to train on this part. I understand like GMC and Google advertising, you know, it's really something that people wanted to learn. Let me actually reach out to a few potential candidates who can do this. Yeah. So pay attention. By the way, I have decided about the training that we're gonna do for Jason Nation, and for the rest of you who wants to learn, well, we're gonna train about. I'm gonna talk about Facebook ads audience targeting in my next training, which is going to happen on the 22nd of August, next Monday. Yeah. So as usual, the Jason Nation members like Doris, Chua, you guys can join for free. And for the rest of you, there will be a nominal fee involved. I will be announcing this in the Facebook group as well as on my, through my mailing list, through my emails, tomorrow maybe, or maybe on Tuesday. So pay attention to that. I'm gonna spend 2 hours talking about, like the Facebook ads audience targeting techniques that work for me, my clients, my own and my clients' cases, and some I would it's kind of like more structured in a way. I'm going to share with you some methods that you can actually target the right audience. At the same time, I'm going to also share with you about how do we actually optimize um, what do we call the two-step funnel, okay, in the post iOS 14.5 era, as in like a lot of things off Facebook can no longer be tracked effectively. So how can we actually use the data to actually optimize our two-step funnel framework? You know, my exclusion and inclusion and retargeting. How do we actually do it right now? What are the updated methods to do this? So we're going to talk about that in the next training. Yeah. So Doris is saying you're looking into Google Ads and Facebook, in 10 days. Okay, Ken, let me look into that and update you guys if there is anything coming up. All right. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for now. If I don't see anything coming up, and oh, there's one in us. When we just start testing Facebook ads, how we strategize our ads? Should we use ABO or CBO first? Well, this is really jumping into a very specific question, which is your question is how should we strategize your ads? Now, in us, I would recommend that you go to my YouTube channel and search for the keyword two-step funnel framework. That's my framework of strategizing Facebook ads. Okay, so go for that video. And for your second question, which is should you be using ABO or CBO first? This is completely up to you. But for everyone who knows me, I'm an ABO person. I hate CBO because it doesn't allow me to do the control that I want for my structure. So in us, that's the pointer. It's okay. You are not missing a thing. Just go to my YouTube channel and look for two-step funnel framework, two-step funnel framework. That's my way of running Facebook ads. Understand the way I strategize my campaign. And when it comes to CBO, ABO, I'm an ABO person. Come on, I'm pro ABO and I'm proud of it. I hate CBO. Yeah, because I need the control. That's what I do. Yeah, exactly right. High five, high five. We are ABO person, ABO all the way. Okay, all right, Ines. Thanks. Yeah, and please look out to that. And all the best. Okay, and everyone else, thank you so much for joining me tonight. It's fun. For those who are new to this, Okay, this is what we do every Sunday night at 10 p.m. Malaysia time. So if you have any questions at all, just post your questions on any of my YouTube videos. I'll pick them up and answer them here, or else just come join me every Sunday night just to hang out, chit chat, talk about anything in Facebook advertising or digital marketing for half an hour. And I think it's fun. All right, GY, ABO, right? Awesome. And yeah, thanks, Doris. Thank you so much for joining me, everyone. Yep, I'll see you next week. Thanks. Good night. Bye bye.